Morning folks, very early start this morning, so currently 4:45 and we're after foxes. Now I've been a bit late to the party this year. I don't know, I just had it in my head that last year them fox cubs that I photographed, it was the beginning of May and I kept, I don't know, just we were doing stuff, just busy, and anyway, a week ago I went and checked the earth. Well, first off I checked when I took them photos and it was the 23rd of April when I was photographing the cubs, so I knew I was going to be chasing it a bit. So I went and checked the earth that I photographed them at last year, not being used. Found one a little bit further up, around the corner in the woodland. Got a trail cam on it. There was a few bits of, looking for indicators, no leaves in the holes, bits of, prey, food debris. Found a few bones, but didn't saw foxes, adult foxes coming and going, didn't see any cubs. So the cubs should be around this time of year. I'm just going to duck down now because we're getting a little bit closer. So anyway, good mate of mine, he gave me a heads up on an earth that he'd found. So this is where we're going now. Now, it's good to have a tight circle of friends who you trust, who you can share locations with, and this is a prime example. I'm not one for going and giving locations away, especially on social media and YouTube films. People have contacted me before saying, oh, where were you, where have you photographed this? Well, I don't want people to take offence if I don't release to the to the world where I've been, because places get swamped. So if you have asked me before, please don't take offence that I'm not give you a six-figure grid reference as to where I've been photographing stuff, because it's good to kind of not keep it to yourself, but don't tell the world, because places there's people out there that don't respect the subjects that you're photographing, and you can end up, it's like this earth. This is going to be a one shot stop, if you will. I'm getting one shot at it and then I'm not coming back. So if I get something, I get something. I have no idea, but I've given myself a decent chance. We're up proper early. I've had a bit of a recce. So we came the other night, had a look at the approach. The approach is a massive thing. There's a number of factors. I mean, you've got to think about we'll make a bit of a move. I want to get in position pretty quick. So, thing is with foxes, super heightened senses. All right, you're thinking about their eyesight, their hearing, and the sense of smell. Don't be spraying a load of foo-foo spray on before you come out, because they'll clock that big time. So forget the deodorant in the morning. But the big things are the hearing, which is super tuned in. You can see their ears moving when they're hunting, like little radar discs. So those ears, they reckon they can move through like 120 degrees. So they're actually scanning. They're like a radar cup. They're moving them like that, and they're focusing those sounds so they can suss out where things are coming from, which is why, as I was saying, the approach is so important. So if I spin you around now, so it's pretty difficult to see, but the earth is down there, the top of the wood, so we're going to go round and approach it from that way. Footwear, show you. I don't know if you can see them. I've got my trainers on and I've got a pair of waterproof socks. It's that early there. We're in long grass. I can actually feel the ground through my trainers. So if I'm going to step on a branch or a twig, I'll be able to feel it. That's why I've not put wellies on. But I've got a pair of trainers on with a pair of dry socks. Camo wise, again, it's up to yourselves, but you know me, when we get nearer, I'll get my gloves on and I'll get my full face veil on. But we're going to head down now to the wood and come back to you in a minute. Okay, so we're down on the edge of the woodland now. You can see there. I'm going to make my way along the edge of the wood, drop in, and then when we came down the other night, we had a bit of an approach plan worked out. So there's a fence I've got to negotiate, a barbed wire fence, get to a certain mark in the woods, then work my way back up to a big ash tree. That's where I'm going to get eyes on the earth. Buzzard just flown over. So the next time we speak, I'll be at the location. So camera wise, I'm already set up, if you will. I've got the 300 f2.8 with the ghillie cover on. You see me use this ghillie cover all the time. It's a fantastic bit of concealment. You've got to think about what your subject is seeing, and that ghillie lens cover can give you quite a lot of concealment just from that lens cover. So I've brought going back to what I've actually brought with me, travelling light, I've only brought one body. I brought the Z9. I've got the 300 2.8 pheasants and I've got the 500 f4. As I've not had eyes on myself, I'm not too sure, so I wanted to bring both those lenses. The 300 2.8 is on now because purely the amount of light. We're in a woodland, it's going to be dark in there. It's a beautiful day, so it's going to be getting lighter. But I wanted that maximum light gathering capability on first thing. I didn't want to be swapping lenses when I get to where I'm going. That'll come later, maybe if I need it. So we'll make our way in now, as quiet as we can. We had, like I said, that approach plan. So when I'm crossing that fence, it was a case of looking, is there anything I need to be able to get hold of? Little tiny things like that can make all the difference. If I'm stumbling around and I'm not sure where my feet are going, I can step on a twig and they're going to hear that because the hearing is fantastic. So it's just good to have that bit of a pre-plan in your head, if you will. So let's go and get in position. That's where I'm gonna get eyes on the earth. Let's go. Okay, these wallies. Better. Right, we're away from the earth now, so we've lost the light. And no, I haven't been here all day, so we were up at stupid o'clock this morning, and I did 3 hours, didn't see a thing. And I don't know, I just didn't feel like they were going to come out, so we've come back tonight. Got here about 6 o'clock, and one of the cubs came out at about 5 to 7, and it literally flipping heck, I don't know. I cocked the footage up, to be honest, because I had it on single point on my video, so I didn't get any decent footage of it. I got a couple of stills, but I weren't going to put this video out, to be honest, but I thought, no, I might as well. It's one of those, the realities of out in the field photography and how hard and how challenging it can be. And on the thumbnail, I put in the thumbnail, success or failure. So I'd like people's opinions really as to whether you think this particular photo session has been a success or whether it's been a failure. For me, it's been an absolute resounding success. Okay, I took, how many? I probably took about 8 stills. That was it, because I'm torn between video and I'm torn between taking video or stills. So for me, I've said it before, when I come out now, I come out with the expectation of seeing nothing, and if I see something that I'm particularly after, and in this case it was the foxes, that's a bonus. That's a mega bonus. If I get a picture, that's a super bonus, and then if I get a keeper, you know, that's off the charts. And I've got a couple of keepers out of those 8 stills that I took. I've actually got a couple of half decent shots. All right, they're not award-winning shots, but that's not what it's about for me. It's just getting out here, you know, having a bit of a plan. And it was, well, I mean, as soon as that first cub came out, I mean, I had the full Monty on, full concealment, really well bedded in next to the tree, you know, and it looked straight at me. Honestly, it was like, I don't know, it was like I had a bloody blue light on top of my head, and it looked straight at me and shot back down the earth. And I don't know, I couldn't believe how well tuned in that young cub was. And then I waited another hour. The other one, it was a different one because it had a black mark on its tail. That came out, it just sat there, put its nose up in the air, and straight back down the earth again. So I got footage of that, but I didn't get any stills of that one. So like I said, success or failure. So put your comments in the section below, and we'll have a chat about it. But you know, it's one of those films. It's not a long one. I've not had time to do any B-roll, any of that flashy stuff. So it was just as it is in the field, and I've put a couple of images up at the end that I've got. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one.